way.
Yeah, what brought on my kind of music, actually, I was in a band called African Roots of Jazz. They're still together, but for a brief while, Wainwright, the drummer, was called back east, and there was a vacuum, where I was. And I was still in City College. And I started writing in City College. That's what they make music majors do. But I wrote 4 songs. And then I played it in school with a few of my classmates. And I actually met Kevin Johnson from Slave and Curtis Robinson, bass player who had married Sarita.
Oh, wow.
Stevie Wonder was there. And we were all in a band together. Sarita was singing, but Kevin Johnson is the one. I told him I wanted to do an album. I had a few songs, and I played the tape of some of the musicians from City College. I said, man, these are all the songs I got, but they don't really sound that well. He said, Rickey, I know these are your friends, the guys you went to school with. You want to call it an album? And you need to, you record with musicians who've been playing their whole life.
Get the cats. Get
so,
the cats.
Whatever you write, they put their whole life into. They've been working, play with your friends. Right. They might even not play in tune. And Kevin, I said, well, I haven't been here that long in L.A., Kevin. He said, well, how'd you like to play with Billy Higgins? I said, oh, are you kidding? He said, yeah. I said, he wouldn't do nothing like this. He said, call him, And Tony Dumas, and Kevin suggested Studio Masters, 8312 Boulevard.
Beverly Boulevard.
Beverly Boulevard. You walk in there, you see about 50 gold records. It was the home of Dot Records, Lawrence Welk, Gail Storm. That's where Dick Griffey of Soul R did. Yeah. Janet Jackson did her first. Leon Silvers was producing all the Soul R. You would know.
Man.
So every night, even though we had a boxing gym in the back, Leon Silvers was recording Dynasty, Shalimar,
Lakeside.
Everybody you walking through. And that was my home, because the owner of Studio Masters was John Wood. We became like brothers in recording. That's how I got on Los Angeles Phonograph Records. Kevin Johnson chose Studio Masters, and when we started recording, John Wood started listening and listening and listening. He said, this is your music? I said, yeah. He said, would you like to be on the label? But it was the musicians. Adele, Sebastian on flute, Charles Owens, one of the top reed players. On English horn, on the Messiah, Tony Dumas, my #1 choice for bass player, no matter what I do, even though there are a lot of great, and Billy Higgins, smiling, humble. It took a lot of humility to record with me. Man, I was nobody, or nothing, and not for a lot of money. And don't
forget Diane Reeves.
With Diane Reeves.
Sing with Sergio Mendez, George Duke's cousin.
Oh, man, how could I figure
Diane Reeves, y'all.
Yeah, we ran into her in class in school, and I heard her sing at a senior concert. She had already, I believe, done stuff with Earth, Wind & Fire, but when I heard her sing, she reminded me so much of Dee Dee Bridgewater. Dee Dee Bridgewater, wife of Cecil Bridgewater, who plays with Max Roach. And I asked her, would she just sing on a couple of songs on the album, and it wound up to being just one song. We didn't have time, but I gave her the tape, and everything was just a first take. First take, walk in the studio, call out the song 2 or 3 times, and that's it. All masters, all masters. That song, So What? They had to rehearse, even though they were masters. These masters walked in, started smiling, and gave me something worth gold. Taught me a lot. Taught me to be serious and practice hard and study the rest of your life. give your all, give your all. And there's a lot of all to give.
Man, before we get out of here, really, really quick, this is Rickey's. He's playing on a many albums, but this is actually my favorite album. The playing on this is serious. There's a remake that I'm crazy about called Dolphin Dance, which is by Herbie Hancock, I think around the time of Maiden Voyage, right when Herbie was really, really playing. But man, it's a re-identification of Dolphin Dance. I mean, man, y'all were gone. And the playing, as great as that first album was, and it was great, but I have to admit, I didn't know that you had that level of sophistication. I mean, I grew up listening, but it became evident when I listened to Limited Stops Only. It's like, okay, let me let it out a little bit or whatever so people know that, yeah, I do this as well. And so, you know, much like Roy and just other different people, it's cool when you see different lanes and not being stuck. Like a lot of the jazz people didn't necessarily change with the times and got left behind, but your thing has always changed. Even the newest, the latest effort with Here's the Good People, just completely different, man. And yeah, but this one here, man, this one is my favorite, man. What were you going through when man, because you elevate, I mean, it went like 3 or 4 notches up.
Actually.
So in other words, it wasn't just the first musicians you had, you kind of had, you had it also as well. Yeah.
Thanks for saying that. I was actually driving the bus. I was a bus driver in LA, and a lot of my bus driver friends, hey, Rickey, why are you putting the bus on the album cover? I said, that's who I am. That's part of my life. I was still playing a lot, doing stuff with Gerald Wilson and a couple of things with Donald Byrd, but I always like to take off and work. You have to play life. You know, we all live life. And I wrote a lot of songs driving the bus. I drove the Limited Stops Only. Next thing you know, people get on the bus. And I got with Nimbus Records. That's when I was playing with Gary Bias, who became a horn player with Earth, Wind & Fire. Eric Tillman, he was with the Temptations, but one of the baddest.
Yeah, Eric is bad.
Eric is, the Nimbus Collective, Nate Morgan, you know, all those cats inspired. I mean, I'm missing a lot of names. Forgive me.
James Leary.
James. Oh, right. James Leary and the drummer.
Ferguson.
Yeah, Sherman Ferguson.
Yeah. Oh no, this is my album. I know it inside out.
Yeah, James Leary was with Bobby Hutcherson for years. I mean, there's so many masters. I mean, when you think about, he brought so much. What an honor. But thanks again. I haven't thought of that album in a long time.
The playing, and that's why I tell people all the time. That's why, you know, with Soul School, sometimes I don't like to use the term, but dumb it down, because much like Motown, they understood hooks, and so they would hook people with just something like doom 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 doom, or whatever it may be, and everybody around the world knows it. And then sometimes you can be a little bit of a trick pony like Maurice White, where he understood everything that Rickey does, but it's kind of like, I'll make it a little bit complex, and I'll put a little bit of a complex hook on it, and I'll get them, and before they know it, they're hooked and they don't know why. And you're Earth, Wind & Fire to this day. And it's just funny, the different philosophies, but like I say, when I hear the difference, and not that either album is better, but they're just different lanes, and I've always respected any musician that's able to actually take it somewhere else, man, somewhere else. You know?
Well, I got a few more stuff I'm going to be releasing soon. I've done some stuff with Uber Laws and a few other artists that I have on the shelf. I just got to get it out on the market, but some great music. I think they'll really like, you know, what's coming next.
Really, really quick. We're going to get out of here with the one and only Henry Mancini. Now, you told me you played with one of the cats from his band before I get to this video.
Oh, yeah, Ray Peasy in the woodwind section of, when I was with John Wood, with the John Wood Quartet, he used Ray Peasy, Pepper Reed.
Oh, yeah. Pepper Reed is on some Donald Byrd stuff as well.
Yeah. So, Ray Peasy is the one They made me start directing my solos, because we were playing one time at a place in Malibu, Pasquale's, a real nice spot. Actually, the guy from Roots, LeVar Burton.
Oh, LeVar Burton, yeah.
Was there. We had a nice, but while I was when we were playing, Ray Peasy was soloing, and I was all behind him, throwing chords, throwing blah blah. I thought it
Or instead of
sounded,
just laying back and letting them rang.
I thought it sounded fantastic. And after the show, ice cream cone. And after the show, he came up to me, and I thought he was going to congratulate me. He said, "Rickey, don't you ever play like that behind my solo. That's my solo. You throwing?" I said, "I'm just trying to back." He said, "Stay out. Don't do anything." And I didn't understand it at first, but everybody has their voice.
Well, that's real.
You know.
That's real, and that's the perfect person to get out of here with is Henry Mancini on that note. But